Hi, everyone. Welcome to MJS Coaching Football. Coach Sullivan here with you again. Excuse me. To my subscribers, I thank you. Non-subscribers, I hope I tease you into pushing that button. Just finished my 38th year coaching football. I was a defensive coordinator, but over that time, I've also been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. So in this coverage film clip presentation, I want to focus on one of the key aspects of our coverage here, and that is when we go from a 2x2 to a 3x1. In this particular instance, what is the 3x1 check and how does that affect the coverage? And then you'll see the scheme that I'll share with you and how we're able to defend it. Okay? So what we're in here, and there is a tight copy, is what we call a shade front. So let me go to the tight copy here, okay? So in our shade front, excuse me, we have our rover here goes into the boundary and ball's on the hash, and we kick the front to the big field. So he's a little tight, but there's a 3 technique, the 1 and the 5. And both of our inside linebackers are head up on the tackle. That's our 6-man box. Okay, so it's solid versus the run and the pass. So consequently, coverage-wise, okay, we start off in what we call gray 4. Okay, and in a 6-man box, here's our boundary, right? He's playing 1x7. The whip stays on the hash, okay, because this linebacker is in a position to play over here where needed. Okay, so we're not giving up anything over here. We're in what we call gray 4, and the tag for 3x1 is Pittsburgh. I'll go over that with you in a second. Then we also tag China, which means, and you don't see this in the tight copy as you saw, the outside linebacker here is in outside shade leverage, which is the exact opposite of what we normally do. And so that's all that the China tag means. Do the opposite of what you usually do, right? And so our field corner is 1x7, and our safety here is 1x12 Ike inside leverage over number 2. Okay? So now, once the motion occurs, this is what we call MAC, motion across. At that point, we are screaming check Pitts. Remember, this is a coverage film clip. I want to use this to teach you the ins and outs and the intricacies of how we play our coverage. Okay, at this point, it becomes check Pitts. So you notice now the free safety is starting to move. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3 is almost in a stacked position there. So the first thing we do in our match quarters is how do you cover the verticals? Okay, well, our whip here in check pit has number 3 vertical. He poaches 3 if 3 is vertical. Okay, if 3 is not vertical, then he is available to help out over here with this number 1. Okay, this corner here, our field corner, has 1 vertical, and the free safety here moves because he has 2 verticals. So that's how we play those 3 verticals on the 3 receiver side. The outside linebacker here is our flat wheel guy. Okay. The inside linebacker here plays anybody 3-2 coming inside, and if they don't come inside, then he gets in the curl. Okay? The inside linebacker here is available to take 1 inside or in the curl, and the boundary corner is going to tempo bail. He's got 1 vertical with potential help from the whip here. Okay? So what you're going to see is what we call, a Dakota. 1 and 2 are coming inside on it's a slant, but it's not a traditional slant. And you're going to see number 3 coming into the flats. And this is going to be a sprint action here with the quarterback and the running back. So you see the kind of a non-traditional slant there. So the whip is in place because this is the new number 3. And there is our flat wheel defender. I don't like how he's turned in, but he's where he needs to be. Our field corner here is thinking potential wheel out and up. Okay, so we have everything covered. And what's really helping us out in the secondary a great deal is this guy, the quarterback, right? His entire focus on the sprint out has been into the flat area, which is why the other defenders are looking in the same direction. He's thinking wheel first. He's thinking flat first. He knows he has help on the vertical, and the safety's coming down. The whip's available on the slant, and the linebackers have already undercut it, and it's highly unlikely that that's going to be thrown because he's sprinting out in the opposite direction. You follow what I'm saying? And so on 3rd and 11, we'll take it. It's an incomplete pass, but even if it was complete, we'll take it. 4th and 6 on our 45. It was a windy, cold day. Week 10, they're going to punt the football. So let's take a look at it now from the tight side. Okay, so you'll see the little bit of movement here, so he's in a better position, and you see the free. See? They're signaling to each other, check pit. That's the signal, check pit. Okay, so again, we got that all covered up, and what really helps us is the sprint out, his eyes, his indicator, which is the front shoulder and the front elbow, as well as the surface, right? That's how they sprint block. And this is a very well executed job by everyone, including our 5 technique, not allowing him the opportunity to potentially tuck it and run the football. And there is our inside linebacker who on sprint is taught to be the secondary contain. Okay, so if I go back to the beginning, which I'm going to, on sprint out, play side linebacker has secondary contain. So that's why you're going to see him coming up. And if the quarterback didn't throw it, he was going to get sacked by this linebacker. See him right there? Perfectly played. So as I said at the beginning, to my subscribers, I thank you. Non-subscribers, I'm hoping I teased you into it. I want to thank you for watching MJS Coaching Football, and I'd like to thank YouTube for providing the platform.